YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching videos. What's going on? What's going on? Before I start this video, I want to let y'all know about the best factoring company in trucking. Triumph Business Capital, the best factoring company in trucking. But seriously, man, if y'all looking for a factoring company, man, call Triumph Business Capital and tell them I sent you. 44 Trucker, aka JH Services, aka Jonathan. They know who I am over there. Call them. Tell them I sent you. I'm just trying to show y'all the best factoring company in trucking. See, a lot of factoring companies out there, man, they'll put you through a whole lot so you can get paid. But Triumph Business Capital, they don't have you do all that. All you got to do is upload your bills, upload your Raycon, and that's it. You don't have to type up invoice. You don't have to do all these extra steps, and you just log on, upload your bills, upload your Raycon, and that's it. You put in the amount from the Raycon. If the Raycon is $1,000, you put in $1,000, and you upload the bills and the Raycon. Hit submit. If you do it by 1 o'clock, you get paid that same day. Easy. Best factory company in trucking. Call. Yeah, I mean, if y'all want the information, send me an email at 44trucker@gmail.com, and I'll hook y'all up. Simple Logic say he got a long drive from Tyler, Texas to Chesapeake, Virginia, so please feel free to make this a very long video. Yeah, man, I got a bunch of videos, man. You know, it's a bunch of videos. I hope that load paying good, man. Tyler, Texas to Virginia. I hope you getting at least $3,000 on that load. Did 4,000 bands last week running containers local. $5,500 truck. That's right, man. You get your money back out that truck. Trick 4064. What do you think? Flatbed or van? I would do flatbed. If you know how to do flatbed, I would do flatbed. If you don't know how to do flatbed, don't mess with flatbed. I'm just telling you. That's just my opinion. Just like anything else. But however, you know, like I've been looking at rates. Rates are pretty good for flatbed. You know, reefer, flatbed, step deck, those guys are doing okay. Drive in, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, I'm doing all right, but the rates still suck. You gotta make sure your expenses ain't too high to weather some of these rates out here, man. These rates out here, These rates out here tough, man. But you can make it. Your expenses got to be low. What's your lowest rate per mile? Um, I don't really look at rate per mile because in a given area, you don't know what rate you will take. You know, the rates are all over the place. I mean, you could be running for $2.50 a mile, $3 a mile, you know, and then you get into a dead area, and the only thing you can pull out of there is $1 a mile freight. Well, what you gonna deadhead out of that area? If I'm in a dead area and it's got $1 a mile freight, I will find a short load just to get me out of there to get to another area. That's what I would do. And so a lot of guys, they'll be like, oh man, I ain't pulling that cheap freight. Well, you running your truck on emotion. You're not running your truck like a business. Okay? Running your truck like a business means don't get emotional about what you can and won't do and setting these limits, these limits that don't make no sense. You know, it's business. You don't know what you would take. You know, you would take a load 50 cents a mile. I mean, I would take a load 50 cents a mile. The conditions of the load got to be good, you know. Like a load like that, I would take a load 50 cents a mile if it paid like $300, right? The load paid $300, and it's gonna take me to an area where it's freight that's paying better, right? The shipper and receiver on the load gotta be a good shipper and receiver. It can't be no BS receiver where you go there and take 5 hours to get loaded. If I'm gonna take a load like that, I'm gonna need that shipper and receiver to get me loaded within an hour, so I can pick the load up, get down the road, get the load off my truck, and move on to something else. And so I'm never the kind of guy. I'm not the kind of guy to say, hey man, you should deadhead to another area because every time you move your truck, it costs you to move your truck. And it's gonna cost you in logbook hours. You gotta use logbook hours to move your truck. And it's gonna cost you fuel and maintenance to move your truck. You're burning rubber, the engine is running, you putting wear on your oil components. And so you need to be getting something. At least pay for your fuel. At least. You know. That's just my opinion. I know there's gonna be some guys on here. No, don't pull that cheap freight. Yeah, man. It's like you got guys out here acting like you gonna strong arm a broker. You ain't gonna strong arm no broker, man. Like the broker really don't care if you sit your truck for a week because the rates are low. The broker don't care. Brokers don't care. You know, brokers, it's so many trucks out here, man. Like the brokers really don't care if you sit your truck crying over the rates. The broker don't care. Oh man, I'm a sit. I ain't gonna pull that freight. Okay. When you tired of sitting, you're gonna call that broker up and say, man, I want to put a load. You know. Uh you know. So what's my lowest rate that I move my truck for? I don't think there is a lowest rate. I would say it's probably like $1 a mile or something like that. That's about the lowest. That's the lowest because my cost to run the truck is $1 a mile. If I can't even cover my costs, I'm not gonna pull the load. So the lowest rate I'll move my truck for is $1 a mile because it costs me $1 a mile to move my truck. So fuel, insurance for me to eat, home bills, all that other miscellaneous stuff that you put on your spreadsheet, it costs about $1.10 a mile to move my truck. Um, so when you talk about how much you gonna move your truck for, what's the cheapest rate? Hey now, looking at this drive over here, I'm about to get my crowbar out on him, smack him upside the head. He about to back into my truck. I know this place small, but you know, where my crowbar at? You gotta find my crowbar. I don't like it when guys be doing stupid stuff. Even for flatbed, you have to have your own authority to make it. I don't know what this guy doing over here. Your boy Rich said, I try to at least 500 to 1,000 a day. Yeah, man, you just do the best you can. It's like guys be putting limits and these figures out there in space. Like, um, business changes all the time. You might have to make some adjustments. You know, y'all know how I feel. I gotta move. I like to move my truck for $1,000 a day. I don't take nothing for less than $1,000 a day. Y'all know I be preaching that, right? But lately, I haven't been getting $1,000 a day. Not every day. I'll get $1,000 one day, and then I'll get 700 another day, 800 another day, 500 another day. Out of the week, I might get $1,000 or $2,000 loads, and then the other loads will be $700, $800 loads. Get what I'm saying? So, um, sometimes you gotta make adjustments, and it's business. JP said 2 weeks ago I was in your lane area. I didn't like them rates much. Yeah, down here in the South, man, it's tough. Fofo, what do you think about autonomous driverless truck? I got a couple of them videos. I talked about that a while back. Can authority insurance be activated with CSL liability insurance? I don't even know what that is. Fofo, don't hurt nobody. Trump got freight slow. Hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all. That was the shipping office. These people in here slow, man. They put 2 trucks ahead of me. I'm ready to get out of here because this place, man, making me nervous. How many miles a week are you basing your cost per mile on? You know, I don't really keep up with my miles. You know, because I'm not a company driver. You know, guys who are leased on and company drivers that get paid by the mile, they worry about how many miles they do in a week. I couldn't even tell you how many miles I do in a week. I do write my miles down. Hold on, let me get my book. Let me get my books and tell you how many miles I did. Last week I had a crazy load last week. Let me see how many miles. How many miles I did last week? I probably did let's see, 350 plus. I probably did like 1,500 miles last week. I didn't write my miles down. I have to go back in my ELD and check that. Yeah, I probably did about 1,500 miles last week. I had a goofy load last week, but I did about, let's see, I did about, hold on, I'm going through my book here. Yeah, I'm going through my book. Let me see. $38. I did about 3,900 last week. Let's see, 38. I'm due some detention. So when they clear the detention, we'll see. It'll probably be about $4,000 I did last week. But at this moment, we're looking at 3,900, right? So I estimated I did about 1,500 miles. I had a goofy load last week. I mean, I probably do anywhere from about 1,500 to 2,000 miles a week. Yeah, I probably do about 2,000 miles a week, something like that. I don't really track miles that much. The only time I track miles is like for like maintenance, to keep track of like cost per mile. You know what I mean? When I do my spreadsheet, but I don't sit around and be like, man, I did 3,000 miles this week, because that's not an indicator of performance. You get what I'm saying? When you got your own authority, or when you're leased on to somebody where you get paid based on the load, you're looking at the gross revenue. You don't look at miles. Miles only come into play when you're looking at your performance on a quarterly basis. When you're looking at your performance on a quarterly basis or a yearly basis, you can say, hey, last year I did 100,000 miles, right? I gross 190,000. Now, when you're looking at those numbers and you like, okay, and you want to see how much maintenance, because like to go get an oil change is $400 to get an oil change. And then you're looking at tires, and from a maintenance standpoint, you want to keep up with your miles. But when we're talking about performance and looking at like your revenue per mile and stuff like that, I don't really look at like miles like that. So any of you guys who keep a spreadsheet, you know what I'm talking about. Like if you had a company that pay you by the mile, then you worry about miles. But I really don't look at miles. I look at gross revenue. So whatever the load, when I look at a load and the load pay $1,000, okay, I'm looking at how quick I can run the load, and I can pick up and deliver the load and get up and deliver the load and get to another load. That's what I look at. I don't look at the miles. I know guys, they look at miles, they harp over miles like, man, that load go 600 miles. I ain't doing that load. Why not? You rather do a load that go 200 miles that pay 500 when your expenses are $200 a day. So you only gonna make $300 for the day net, maybe a little less, $250 net. That don't make no sense. Okay, you got to go after the revenue, man. Go after the revenue. I already made videos about this, man. You got guys that's running the truck that don't have no business running the truck. You just got guys out here that just they really don't have no business running the truck. They think they know how to run a truck, but they don't. They're using wrong terminology to run their truck. They don't keep a spreadsheet. They don't know what their numbers look like, but then they want to talk about cost per mile and rate per mile when you don't even keep a spreadsheet. It don't make no sense. Like I bump into guys all the time. I can listen to them. I be on the phone with guys. I be talking to guys at a truck stop, and they be talking about, man, I got a load for $4 a mile. $4 a mile? Yeah, the load go 100 miles. I got $400 on the load. That don't make no sense. That's nothing to be excited about. So you're gonna run your truck 100 miles for $400 and boast about you making $400 on a load that go 100 miles. You ain't making no money. If it cost you $200 a day just to sit in the truck, if you park your truck at a truck stop, at a drop lot somewhere, anywhere in the country, if you park anywhere in the country and your truck just sitting here, it costs you $200 a day just to sit here. But you're gonna run a load for $400. Okay, you got $400. You got $400 minus $200. You only made $200 for the day. Now you got to pay taxes, maintenance. So once you done pay taxes, you after all those expenses, you got $200 left. I be talking to guys like this all the time. I'm just like, dude, I can tell you don't keep a spreadsheet on your truck, because if you did, you wouldn't be boasting about running a load for $400, thinking that's great. It ain't. That's garbage. Your IFTA will tell you. Yeah, your IFTA. Yeah, you're right. Your logbook will tell you. Yeah. Right. What interest rate your factoring company charge you? A factoring company don't charge an interest rate. I use Trucking Office, QuickBooks. Some guy told me stay humble because I said 50 and 60K ain't enough for a family of four. I told him, I'm sorry, that's not enough. Texas is killing me. 2,000 a month for my payroll. Yeah, I'm gonna address this comment by Christopher Slater. He said he asked me what interest rate a factoring company charged me. First of all, factoring companies don't charge an interest rate. Number one, you got to know what is an interest rate. What is an interest rate? An interest rate is an ongoing fee based on a compound it's a compounding fee charged for balance due. Okay? Factoring companies don't charge an interest rate. So, like, for example, if you go buy a truck, the truck $25,000, you take a note out on it, they're gonna charge you, just say, a 10% interest rate for round easy numbers. They're gonna charge you 10% interest rate every month, every day. Lot of banks these days, they charging a daily interest rate. Every day that balance sits on their books, that note sits on their books, they're charging you a daily interest rate. It accrues daily, monthly. Okay, they'll charge you a daily accruing interest rate. Now, when you factor a load through a factoring company, they don't charge you interest rate. It's a flat fee. Okay, it's the same way as if you went and bought a box of cereal off the shelf. A factoring company buys your bills for a flat fee. For a flat fee. So if it's 2%, 3%, 5%, whatever the case, they charge you a flat fee. So if you bought a box of cereal for $5 and the interest rate or whatever you want to call it, and you don't pay it off, that's different than charging a flat fee because there's a balance due. Okay? But like a factoring company don't do that. They charge you a flat fee. That's it. It's done. It's paid. It's done. So if the factoring fee is 2%, say $100 is 2%, that's $2. That's it. It's done. They don't charge you $2 every week, every month, every 6 months. They pay the fee and it's done. But we're gonna get in. I figure we're gonna get into a back and forth about factoring and all that. There's gonna be some guys we're gonna get in the back and forth. Man, I don't use no factoring company. Sure you do. Somebody gotta get the check and cash it. You gotta go through your books. You gotta go through your books and check off who paid you. Okay? That time costs money. Okay? I know guys who don't use a factoring fee. I know guys who don't use a factoring company. There are guys out there that don't use a factoring company. And so what they do is they wait for the brokers to send them a check. It'd be 30, 40 some days before they send you a check, right? Sometimes it's direct deposit. Depending on how you got it set up, it may be direct deposit. So that means you got to go through your books. You got to figure out which broker paid you. Okay, when checks come in the mail, you got to be like, okay, this is called accounts receivable. You got to go through your accounts receivable and check off who paid you. So, okay, XPO Logistics, they paid. Uber Freight, they paid. Scott Logistics, they paid. C.H. Robinson, they paid. Cowley Logistics, they haven't paid yet. You got to put a star by it. You go through your checking account and check off who paid you and who didn't pay you, right? Well, Uber Freight paid. Well, that's a lot of work, man. Reconciling your books is a lot of work. Don't even lie to me and tell me that reconciliation of your books isn't a lot of work. It is a lot of work. For guys to sit here and act like not having a factoring company is the best thing in the world, you're crazy. You're crazy. There's no way you're going to sit up there. How many loads that the average guy factors out here with their own truck and trailer? Say you run about 5 loads a week. It's 4 weeks in a month. That's 20 loads. That's 20 loads. In 2 months, that's 40 loads. In 3 months, that's 60 loads. That's 60 loads in 3 months. I will guarantee you're going to lose some checks. Some checks going to get lost in the mail. Some checks going to get lost. I mean, it only take one check to fall behind the computer. It only take one check to fall behind that's all it takes. And you got to go through and be like, damn. And then you call the broker up and say, hey man, y'all sent that check out? Yeah, we sent that check. And really? So you don't have a factoring company. Really? Okay. I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. And so you got some guys, they girlfriends and they wives help them, do their books and stuff like that. Okay, cool. But if your wife can go out and get a job for $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, does it make sense for you to have your wife or girlfriend do your books for you and do your and not have a factoring company? Does it make sense for her to stay home and go through your checks and make sure all the checks are accounted for and deposited? That don't make no sense. And here's another thing. Say a broker forgets to send you a check. Now you got to wait 30 days for the broker to get back to you, or for you to get back to the broker, because you don't know how long it takes for that broker to send that check, because the broker, they got 30 to 45, 60 days to send you that check. Most checks clear about 40 days. Most checks is somewhere around 20 to 40 days, somewhere in there. It's 20 to 40 days. Most checks about 30 days. Some of them are direct deposit. So when we sitting up here talking about factoring companies, I laugh at guys that are totally against factoring companies, because what you're telling me is that you're using your own money to run your truck. That means you got to have 30 to 45 days worth of fuel put back. You got to have you got to have 30 to 45 days of mortgage payment put back. You got to have 30 to 45 days of water bill, electric bill. You got to feed your family for 30 to 45 days before all them checks come in. And don't let one of them checks be late. Say a check come and the amount ain't right. So now you got to call the broker up and say, hey, Mr. Broker, y'all sent the check for $1,200, but the rate con says $1,350. We're $150 short. Now you got to wait a whole another 30, 45 days for them to clear that up. See, when you got a factoring company, you can clear that up quick. Your turnaround is quicker, okay? You can clear that up within a week or two. But, I mean, this is guys out here that got a small level of thinking. They're not thinking big. They're not thinking big. And you got to think big. You got to think, okay, it don't make sense for you to have all that capital out there of your own money. Don't use your own money, use their money. They charge you a fee. They charge you a little fee. They charge you a little, 2% fee. Intermodal freight is slow today. Yeah, intermodal freight always slow. How much do you save with fuel card you use? I spend anywhere from $800 to $1,100 and save $50 to $100 in fuel discount looking for a better card. Yeah, that's about what you're looking at. That's about what I'm saving. I save anywhere from 15 cents all the way up to 40 cents off the cash price at the pump. So that's about what you're gonna save out here. Without having a bigger fleet and getting a big old fleet cards. Like if you were with Snyder and you getting, or if you with Prime or something, or if you with Landstar, you getting them big. You getting a little bit more money off, 60 cents off. I talked to some guys, they getting 50, 60 cents off. At least on the Landstar, but I use FTS Plus. FTS Plus fuel card. I think Nastic is better. I was gonna do Nastic, but I don't like Nastic just because with the Nastic fuel card, um, with the Nastic fuel card, you have to go to that seminar. You got to pay $250 a year for the card. That don't make sense to me. That don't really make sense to me. You know, $250 to get that discount. When there are a whole bunch of other discount programs out there that don't have to do all that. Okay, I don't have to do all that. Like I got a discount with my Calm Data card, and then I have a discount with my EFS card, and I didn't have to do none of that. All I did is filled out an application. That's it. You know, that's it. That is it. Let me see. Okay, so this is the discount I get with my Calm Data card. This is the discount. This is the discount I get with my Calm Data card. So I can get fuel. I basically get 23 cents off with my Calm Data card. Right? So let me find a TA. Let me see. All these discounts have Petros and TA. Let's see, Petro, 270, Madison, okay. So I'm getting fuel for about in Georgia, I get fuel for $2.70 a gallon. $2.70 a gallon. That's the cheapest one in Georgia. Wait. I can get fuel for $2.60. Yeah, the cheapest fuel in Georgia that I can get is $2.66 a gallon in Georgia. So, I mean, you know, it's not that bad. Not your average trucker does not believe in factoring. Yeah, I mean, factoring, it depends on what you're trying to do with your truck. It really depends on if you want to run one truck, run one truck, you could get away with not using the factoring company. But if you're trying to grow a fleet, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it without a factoring company. Just think about it. If you got a fleet of 5 trucks and you don't use a factoring company, that means you have to fuel 5 of your trucks in a week. It's gonna cost you at least $6,000 a week to fuel 5 trucks in a week. You got to have $6,000 cash a week sitting out. Okay, you got to have $6,000 of your own cash sitting out a week before you get a check from a broker. You multiply that times 4, that's $24,000 a month just in fuel. Just in fuel. $24,000 a month just in fuel with 5 trucks sitting out before you got a check. without a factoring company. I'm pausing because I want the guys to understand what that is. If you run in one truck, you can manage 1,300 out sitting out there. You can manage $5,000 a month sitting out before you receive the check. If you putting your fuel on a credit card, you got 30 days before you make a payment. You can manage that. But with a factoring company, you don't have to worry about that because in 2 days you get your money. So you get the money, put fuel in the truck. Now you're not even using your own money. Okay? The factoring fee is a business expense. You just deduct that on your taxes. So your effective rate for factoring could be like, if you spend $4,000 a year on factoring, you're probably looking at $3,000, $2,800. You know. The music trucker said, I have 4 TCS EFS cards, and all of them, they was a Coke and a smile. What? I don't get it. Join my fleet building network, John. Yeah, Jeff, I'm definitely gonna join that. Yeah, because you know, we trying to help independent guys out here to we trying to help independent guys we got to get together and get these customers out here. Believe he has 10 to 12 trucks. Who got 10 to 12 trucks? Jeff? Yeah, I know Jeff. I know Jeff personally. I got Jeff's number in my phone. Me and Jeff talk on a regular basis. But I've been meaning to call you, Jeff. I wanted to tell you about this fuel discount I got. I want to tell you about the story. It's crazy. But yeah, when it comes to fuel discounts, like I bump into guys, they don't use a fuel card. They pay cash for fuel. They go into the truck stop. Their fuel bill is $420. They counting 20s out at the fuel desk, paying cash for fuel. Why are you walking around with all this cash, paying cash for fuel? I don't get it. It's some very old-fashioned guys out here. So this is my fuel card right here. I got 10 of these. Okay. I got 10 of these cards. This Comdata card, my Comdata account, man. I love it. It's beautiful. Like, it makes you feel like a big fleet, man. You go onto your account, you got all these settings, and I can order cards. I can order batches of cards. I can order 50 cards at one time. I can send cards to guys' houses. I can send fuel cards to their address. I can do a com check. I mean, it's like, I love my Comdata account. I love it, and I get a fuel discount, man. Man, but like, when you talking to guys, most guys, they're only interested in running one truck. They're not interested because you talk to guys and be like, man, I don't want no fuel, no COM data card because there's a whole bunch of fees. So essentially, what you're doing is your thought process is it's like, okay, it's the saying that I had in other videos that I used to say. You stepping over what I used to say. You stepping over dollars to save pennies. That's what you're doing. Okay, it costs me $15 a month. It costs me $15 a month for my COM data account. For the whole account, it costs me $15 a month. Okay. Now, talking to some guys, they'll be like, man, I don't want that because I don't want them to charge me I don't want them to charge me $15 a month for that card. Right? Plus the transaction fee. It's $1 transaction fee. Or I don't want that. But if you have a fleet of 5 trucks, how the hell you gonna fuel your how are your trucks are gonna get fueled? You gonna give them cash? You gonna send them a COM check to pay for fuel every time? You're gonna direct deposit them $1,000 a week for fuel? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't understand what their thinking is. If you're gonna pay cash for fuel, cool. That's for one truck. But if you're trying to grow multiple trucks, you gotta get out of your own way and build a fleet. Don't worry about them little fees that the car charging you because you're gonna make more money anyway. If you got a small fleet of trucks, okay. If the account costs you $15 a month, charge your drivers. Charge your drivers a couple dollars out of their settlement, $1 out of their settlement to pay for the fuel card. It's business. I talk to guys. You got to think big, man. You got to think big. Jeff said, I have the whole process streamlined. That's right, Jeff. Call me tomorrow. I'm installing ELDs today. I have a question. I've been pulling load for 700 from a broker, and the customer offered me a dedicated run and cut out the broker. How would you submit your bid for the account? Okay, it's easy. Go on Microsoft Office and open up Microsoft Word and just type up a basic bid. Just type it up. Put your company name up there, your DOT number, your address, your phone number, and just make it very professional. A little paragraph submitting your rate and your invoice, and let it be that. Now, you want to make sure you include detention in there. You want to put, all the ins and odds of the load. Okay, so detention, layover, what happens if the load's late or something like that, that's beyond your control, something that's their fault. Okay, you want to include layover and all that stuff in there, man. And then put 2 lines for them to sign it and for you to sign it. And you send that to them so you can sign it and have it documented. This is just a basic contract, man. Basic contract. And then when you get ready to invoice them, you just when you get ready to invoice them, you just send them an invoice, The program that I use to send invoices is let me look it up real quick. I use Zoho. I use Zoho for invoices. Zoho has a whole suite of business programs. They do CRM, they do emails, they do accounting, they do all kinds of stuff. They have a whole suite of business tools, small business tools. Check out Zoho. They'll help you. You know, they'll help you. You know, get your invoices together and get your accounting, sales, marketing, all that stuff, man. I love Zoho. They got a whole suite of services and programs. Check them out, Zoho. And let me see. But yeah, check out Zoho. They're pretty good. And it don't cost a whole bunch of money. You probably can get, I know I use Zoho free. I use the free version of Zoho. So whenever I need to send a broker an invoice, I use Zoho. That's what I use. You don't know? I would increase that rate 30% and see what the customer says. So if you put in that load for 700, I'll mark it up 30%. 700 times. I'll bump it up. I'll bump that rate up $250 and see what they say. I'll ask them for a cool. I'll ask them for a cool 1100. That's what I would go for and see what they say. I go for a cool 1100, anywhere from 9 to 1100. But you know, they're probably getting. You never know. They might be getting $3-4 a mile on that load, man. So, I mean, right? Money Mike Slick Will. Yeah, that's what it is. Stepping over dollars to save pennies. You got guys that's got a very small mindset, you know, and you know, because they don't understand is that when you set your business up for scalability, them little fees for a factoring company, little fees for a fuel card, that don't mean nothing, man. Because when you start to scale this business and everything automated, it don't matter. It really don't even matter, man. It really don't even matter. When the fleet can just run on its own and you can just step away. Now you got your time back and you making a salary from your business, man. You got a 10, 15, 20 truck fleet and you ain't got to touch it. You ain't got to touch it. Wondering about the rate? Yeah, I would bump the rate up 30 some percent, somewhere in there, and see what the customer says. Because that broker, more than likely, the broker is getting 30% on that load. 30%. So if the load paying 1,100, he paying you $7, he getting $300 off that load, maybe more. He probably getting what you getting on the load. He probably getting that load for $1,500, selling it to you for $7. You never know. What I would do, I would ask the customer how much they're willing to pay on the load. You never know. That customer may be willing to like, you know what? We was paying that broker $2,000. We'll give you $1,800. You have no idea. So you gotta fish your way through the situation. Let them tell you how much they want to pay on the load. Just ask them how much they usually move the load for. You know, it's salesmanship. You know, professional about it. You know, yeah, I figured anywhere from $900 to $1,000, but they may be paying that broker for $1,800. You never know. They may be paying that broker $2,500 on that load. You never know. Never know. This place gonna eat up my doggone clock, man. Man. Hate coming to these places. You sit up here and they eat up your doggone clock. Eat up your clock. They eat it up. Be eating up my clock, man. Uh-oh. We finally getting loaded. Man. Been up here since 10 o'clock. You said the hours of service rules gonna change. We gonna see, man. I mean, long as I've been in trucking, they've been fighting. I don't think they're gonna change nothing. They've been going back and forth from the hours of service. It ain't gonna do nothing but get worse. Ain't gonna do nothing but get worse. Them people don't care nothing about us down here, man. Because if they did, they would have changed the laws long time ago for the good. Okay? When I got in trucking in 2007, I was running on paper logs for like a year. Then the company I was running for went to electronic logs in 2007. 2008, they was going towards electronic logs, and like that was back before they had the required 30-minute break, and that was just when they changed the law where you can stop your clock. They just changed it where I came in. Where you can stop your clock, and now you got to get loaded and you got to run all the way there. You can't take a break, man. You got to get the load there. If you take a break, now you're gonna be late on your load. Now that's gonna be a domino effect for all your loads, and you ain't gonna make no money. It make no sense. When you come to a place like this, you should be able to stop your clock. You should be able to just stop your clock. The only weapon we got is the 8-2 split. That's the only weapon we got. You know. Y'all funny. Where I'm at, I'm in Noonan, Georgia, off of 85, picking up a water load. I'm in Noonan, Georgia. Noonan, Georgia. Picking up a water load in Noonan, Georgia. I was surprised to see this load on the load board, pay $1,000 to go 300 miles. Very surprised to see this load on the load board. I booked this load so fast. I was like, what? $1,000? Let me get that. Shoot. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all watching my videos. I got an hour for y'all. I hope I ain't bore y'all too much. You know, we had some random conversations in here, but $3.33 a mile. Oh, yeah. I mean, anything. Right now, you'd be lucky to get $2 a mile these days. $1.70, $1.80, $1.90 a mile these days. Shoot. But you can make it. You know, I'm still making more money than I was a Snyder. I tell you that. Still making more money than I was a Snyder. You know, you know, I'm making more money. I'm making more money in detention. After 2 hours, I get detention. I don't have to chase down empty trailers. I always got my trailer with me. All these different ways to make money. You saving money in a lot of ways because I always got my trailer with me. I ain't chasing empties, wasting time. You know, you know, a lot of guys be like, man, you do live loads all the time. But the difference between when you do a live load with a big mega carrier and you do a live load with your own authority or something like that is very different. It's very different. You got a lot of control. You're making more money. You're getting detention quicker. I mean, it's at Snyder, you got to wait 5-6 hours to get detention, you know, and you're getting them lousy rates on the load. So, I mean, there've been times where I've gotten $400 and $500 on detention. You know, like I go to a place, the load pay $500, right? The load pay $500. The load goes 150 miles, right? You get there to deliver the load, it takes them 8-9 hours to unload the trailer. I don't care. You keep in contact with the broker. When the load done, you send a picture of the bills. Boom, you get an updated rate card. You get $500 for the load plus $400, $450 in detention. That load paid $900 to go 150 miles. You would never get that load at Snyder. Never. You would never get that kind of load at Snyder. Ever. In order to make $900 a day, $1,000 a day at Snyder, you have to run the truck. You got to beat your truck up. You got to run your hours out. I can't even tell you when the last time I ran my hours out. It's just a different ball game. Like, you know, so when I look at my spreadsheet from Snyder and I look at my spreadsheet today, I'm like, I'm still up 40-50 cents a mile. I'm still making 40-50 cents a mile above when I was at Snyder. I was making $1.30 a mile gross at Snyder. Okay. After expenses, my expenses are like $1.05, $1.10 a mile. Okay, all miles I'm grossing like maybe $1.80, $1.90, $2, $2.05 a mile gross. After $1.10 expenses, I'm still up 70-80 cents a mile. I'm taking home 80 cents a mile. You know, I mean, so when you compare like real stuff, it's like, yeah, the rate's low, but I'm still making more money. I'm still making more money. So just left Kimberly Clark and LaGrange. Oh man, them places are slow. If you got a live load, that place slow. They are slow. Yeah, I like water loads because they're real flexible. You don't have to worry about waiting too long. Because when you go to a grocery warehouse or something like that, they just snatch the water off. It ain't a whole bunch of, it's not too many SKUs they got to go through. They don't have to check it. It's water. Snatch it off. Let's go. If you got like a Procter & Gamble load, or you got a Campbell's Food load, or it's a bunch of little small packages they got to sort through, it takes longer for them to unload the trailer. So, you know, but with water, I like water loads. It's just like pulling paper bales. Paper bales, water loads, Rolls of paper, yeah, man. I like running them loads. It's easy, clean freight. It ain't too much to deal with. But hey, let me get off here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I just want to do a video. This video ain't really had no topic to it. It was just a random. I just wanted to give y'all a video. But I appreciate y'all watching my videos. I'll see y'all next time.